The Madlanga Commission sat again this morning in Pretoria. And the evidence that landed before lunch shows once more how the rot at the top keeps ordinary South Africans poorer and less safe. Today's testimony from a former senior official in the police procurement unit laid out how contracts for vehicle maintenance and station upgrades were steered to connected companies. The numbers were not abstract. One tender worth R187 million for patrol vehicles ended up with a firm that delivered less than half the promised fleet. Stations in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal still run short of working cars, which means response times stretch from 20 minutes to 2 hours in places like Soweto and Umlazi for a taxi driver on the N1 or a spaza owner in Alexandra. That delay is not a headline. It is the difference between getting robbed or getting help. The Commission heard that the same networks also touched forensic services. Backlogs at labs mean dockets sit for months. So cases collapse and suspects walk. Every day people feel it in the rising cost of private security and the quiet decision to stop reporting crime altogether. The political angle came through clearly too. Witnesses described pressure from senior politicians to fast-track certain suppliers while slowing others. This is the same pattern that has kept construction mafias active on sites across the country. When a road project in the Eastern Cape stalls because the right company was not chosen, local workers lose daily wages and schoolchildren walk further on damaged gravel. The Commission is not inventing these links. It is simply putting names and amounts on what communities have complained about for years. What makes today's session feel urgent is the absence of any quick remedy. The evidence is stacking up. Yet the Commission has no power to arrest or fire anyone on the spot. Recommendations will come later, probably after the next election cycle. In the meantime, the same officials and middlemen remain in place. That reality hits the person queuing for a grant or trying to register a small business at home. Affairs. When state money leaks, services shrink. When services shrink, people pay more out of their own pockets or do without. There is also the risk that the inquiry becomes another long talk shop. Previous commissions produced thick reports that gathered dust ordinary South Africans have seen this movie. They notice when ministers appear before Madlanga only to claim they were not aware of the details, then return to their offices without consequence. That pattern feeds the deeper cynicism that nothing changes no matter who sits in the union buildings. Still, some value is emerging from the public record. Details that were once rumored in shebeens are now under oath and on paper. That makes it harder for future governments to pretend the problems never existed. For the go-go in a rural clinic waiting for medicine that never arrives because the delivery tender was inflated, the Commission at least names the mechanism that keeps her waiting. Whether that leads to real recovery of funds or prosecutions is another matter. Right now the Commission is doing what it can, forcing the story into the open. The street-level effect remains the same. Every rand stolen from a police or transport budget lands on the shoulders of people who already stretch their money between transport, food and school fees, until the findings turn into action that removes the guilty and fixes the systems. The hearings will feel like expensive theater while the daily grind stays unchanged.